So on the so now we've got everything hooked up, the cover lifter's up, we're set. Now we're gonna walk the customer through their tub.
Yeah, so the drain is right here on the front. It's always on the equipment side.
And is it in the center on everything on
No.
all tubs?
This is just Utopia. So how this drain works is you have to pull this out. This pulls out like that. Then you can take this cap off and thread a hose right on that, and it'll just drain by gravity.
So when they want to do a drain and fill on the Paradises, it's in the corner, right?
Yeah, it'll be more on the side.
Yep.
And
It'll look very similar.
Yeah, you just take the cap off, put your hose on, and then there's a shut off that you turn to open it up. Yep.
Or you can simply advise the customer to get themselves a little submersible pump so
Yep.
they don't ever have to deal with this.
Or
They can
breaking
throw a
that.
sump
Yeah.
in there and it'll drain 10 times faster than gravity.
Way faster. Yeah, I always recommend.
Bilge pump for marine boats, sell them. I mean, get water off your boat or out of your boat if it comes in. You know, like Jake said, a mini sump pump that people have for their houses that keep the basements from flooding when there's rain. Something like that would work really well. That's what we use when we go to shows. It's just a submersible bilge pump in it, and we put pool hose and psh. Owen's seen that a few times.
Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So for salt system tubs, they only recommend draining and cleaning it once a year, which is nice. If you don't have a salt system, I would do it at least 2-3 times a year.
part of that is based on what your chemicals. If you're struggling with your water, do it more often. But
Yeah.
you know, you also want to make sure that they're cleaning their filter. So you know, the filter, I say once every 30 days, just because it doesn't allow buildup. It doesn't allow things to happen. The second part I do is get a second. You know, spend your $60, get a second filter. Have a dry one. Put the dry one in. Take the wet one in. Do your wash in the sink. Put it on the shelf. They don't have to do that, but then, you know, anything wet on it is killed because it's dry and dead.
Yeah.
If it's wet and you put it back in and you didn't do a good job cleaning, you could introduce the problem you were having right back into the tub on that off that filter.
Contamination.
Plus, they need to use filter cleaner.
Yeah, it helps. You can use Dawn dish soap as long as you rinse it very, very well and get all the bubbles off it. There should be no bubble residue.
And it's surfactant.
Otherwise, it'll cause bubbles in the tub. If you leave Dawn dish soap on it, it's going to bring bubbles into your tub. So make sure you've rinsed it. But yeah, we sell a filter cleaner. You can buy it from Amazon. It's like $8. We have a spray-on that's a little bit bigger. I think it's like $20. But you know, it'll clean your filters for every month for a year with the one bottle. So
Yep. There's these small diverters on the top. There are 3, 4, 5, 6 of them on this tub. Those are all your air diverters, so if you have them turned to the left, it'll bring airflow through the jets. That just increases the pressure. The bigger diverters here, there's 3 of them in this tub. Those are actually flow diverters, so if you have it all the way to one side or the other, it'll send most of the flow to a certain section of jets. But if you have it in the middle, it'll just be a nice even flow between everything. Yeah, so those are all customizable. There are 3 diverters on the side. There's one over there too.
every tub is different. That happens to be on the Niagara that we're doing.
Yeah. So that one controls the neck jets that are under the pillow. The same over here. This one controls the waterfall that's over there. But yeah,
Almost every tub has a waterfall, so it's going to have a waterfall diverter jet.
yeah.
And you know, you open it up, it goes further. You can get it so it's softer. Same with any jet. Somebody's going to adjust the flow based on how hard they want to push it on them.
Yeah.
there's not a right or wrong setting unless it doesn't flow at all when you turn it. If it doesn't adjust something, then there's a problem with the diverter jet or the valve, or it's not opening and closing what it needs to.
Yep. And if anyone's struggling to turn any of these diverters, just turn the jets off and then adjust it. A lot of times someone will be struggling with it, and then they think they're going the right way, but they're not, and then they turn it too far one way and it just breaks it. So just take the resistance out of the picture, just turn the jets off and then mess with your diverters.
So you're hitting the jet button on the thing and just killing the jet to move the diverters.
Because there will be resistance if they're on, especially with these flow diverters. If there's flow going through there, it's going to be hard to turn. So the small jets, they all stay open, but the bigger jets here, they all open and close with a quarter turn. So those are customizable. These at the bottom here, those are just your
The volcano jets.
Yeah, those are the volcano jets, and then the suctions down there too. There's 3 of them, just to make sure those don't get clogged up with debris and whatnot. These are all your lights, so they're scattered around the top and on the bottom. And then that spot right there on the side, that's where the heated water comes out.
Right there in the middle.
Yep, from the circulation pump. That's really it as far as inside the tub, besides the filter that's right there. That's where the filter goes. And all the filters, they're just pull out.
You'll see the Vacanzas, yeah. You'll see the Vacanzas. There's a little lock ring. You'll see the Vacanzas are open right to the tub. This the Paradises don't have the teeth. Just has a top, and then all the Utopias have the teeth to keep anything from going in there. All of our Vikings are fully teethed and in recessed in all of them. So all of our Grand River made by Viking they don't have that problem at all.
And yeah, these are just the speakers that we talked about.
So you've gone through jets. What's the next thing you cover with the homeowner?
The chemical side of things.
So he'll have a test strip. He'll take some water. You're going to fill it from a garden hose. He'll take the water from the garden hose, run it across his test strip, do a read on it.
Yep.
You know, we bring some basic chemicals. Really, with salt, we're just bringing salt. So he'll look at the water chemistry and say, hey, based on the read here, this could be a problem, this could be a problem, so you might want to get some of these chemicals. You know, it's something sometimes we can have there that they have to pay for at delivery, or they can come pick them up, or they can get them from any pool store. Just recommend that they don't buy cheap, because that can throw off if you're combining good chemicals with marginal chemicals. It's like premium gas and regular unleaded or E85. Not going to get the same performance.
So do you want me to go over the whole chemical side of things too? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I have to get like a chemical kit
Okay.
together then, so that way I can.
I mean, is there anything else you want to cover on top side settings, how it controls, and we can do chemicals last?
When we're at the delivery, we don't ever get to go through the top side, but the manual goes through everything in such detail as far as the top side settings go.
Every button that you press and what it does.
Yeah, so I always tell them to download that to their phone. That way they know how to mess with all the settings. Yeah.
A lot of times I like to have sales send them the manual PDF, because we have them say, here's the manual you're going to need, so they already have it electronically.
Yeah, it's really easy to navigate through. The more difficult one is like this one here. It's a
Yeah.
little- yeah. It's a
The
little,
Vacanzas, you have to go. It's such a small screen that
Yeah.
you're scrolling down a lot more.
Yep.
Like the salt settings, like 15 presses down to even get to where the salt is.
yeah.
When you're doing a salt upgrade on a Vanto or a Vacanza series.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's why I always say just download the manual and that goes through everything.
So water chemistry, we don't really have to go into that. Obviously, it's knowing how to read chemicals on a test strip. What else do you cover with the customer?
More of the maintenance stuff. So for the shell, I always recommend to get a scratch-free scrubber. We use the scrub
Magic eraser.
smudges. Magic eraser will get like any bad smudges
Yep.
out that aren't coming out.
So like you see there's some salt residue right here, guys. I mean, magic sponge, a water line. You can get a water line a little bit almost in any tub. That's also a pretty good indication that you might need to clean your filter. So, but to make a magic sponge, just wipe it up. What else do you recommend?
Yeah, just every once in a while, scrub the whole shell down with like a Scrub Daddy sponge. That's what I use.
Good to do in a drain and fill.
Yep. Scrub it down while it drains. After it's done draining, just shot back everything out. You can rinse it out and shot back that out too, just to make sure all the old water is out of there. But,
If they're not getting chlorine readings or they're struggling with their water, phosphates can get introduced to hot tub water just like a pool. From fertilizers, airborne stuff. If they're near farms, fertilizers can come settle. It helps plants grow, but it also can turn your pool water green. So you can use phosphate remover in here just like you would in a pool. Obviously not a whole bottle like you'd pour in a pool, but that
once a week.
an ounce a week
Yep.
to get rid of it. So
Yep. Then
Isn't that 1 ounce per 500 gallons?
that's why it's an ounce. We don't quite have 500 in these tubs, but an ounce a week.
yep, I'll just keep it down. Then vacuuming would be good to do as well because the heavy stuff tends to stay at the bottom. So you can get just a suction vacuum or
There's a hand vacuum right
Yeah.
there that you just pull it and it pulls it through a vac at the bottom and pulls stuff up. You can get a spa bot. We have those little robot vacuums like a Roomba but for your hot tub. Picks up the big stuff. It doesn't get inside the little jets, but it'll pick up the big stuff and then float when it's done. That's a good little investment for $500.
Yep.
Most common asked questions you get from customers, that top 3 things everybody's asking you when you're walking them through.
The chemicals is really the most difficult part for customers.
And everybody's water is different.
Yeah.
100%.
That's what people have the most issues with. Is definitely the chemicals.
If they have to fill from a well, we even have filters you can put on the end of a hose that'll charcoal filter out some of the metals and hardness. That's the hand vac. Put that in, sucks up salt. You just
Demonstration.
it up. And find something on the ground.
there's a lot of salt right here on this side.
You just hold it where you want to vacuum. Pull.
See, it's sucking up the little particles.
Takes a bit, but it'll get
The salt residue on this one, we found that the platinum, for some reason, gets a lot more salt residue than the other one. We don't know why. I don't know if it's something with the platinum shell, but
It's usually from like ionization.
so water chemistry, like I said, we have the water filter go on the hose, especially if they're using outdoor water. What's the number 2 thing that people always ask you?
the salt system. People get confused with the salt system. Some people think that the salt system will handle everything chemical wise, but all it does is it's just creating chlorine. It's just sanitizing the water. So people have to keep that in mind. There's still other things you need to balance, such as your alkalinity, pH.
Especially if you
calcium
add
content.
water from a hose, like you get low and you put 3 inches of water in, it's going to change that chemistry for a minute, and just having your salt system running might not rebalance it.
Yeah. And the other thing with the salt system is, for the salt specifically, you can't add the salt when the water is cold, because it will not register the salt when it's cold water for some reason. So
What's the minimum temperature?
I would wait until it's at least like 80, 90 to be safe, yeah.
With our pools, that's 65, right, D?
For it to start making chlorine.
It's got to be a minimum of 65 for it to even start generating the chlorine.
Yeah.
But like Nate said, a hot tub heats so fast, just wait 2 more hours and it'll be 75. You know, so why hurry? I mean, pool could take hours because it's a pool, but on a hot tub, just, you know, get it to that 75, 80 minimum and do it. XL pillow. When do you use that? When do they use that? When should they consider that?
Yeah, so if your calcium harness is extremely high, then you need the XL pillow. If it's only a little bit high, then the regular pillow is fine.
Okay.
But yeah, that's when you have to run a vanishing act cycle, and then in the manual it'll tell you what suction to put the pillow on,
Yep.
depending on your model. So that'll run for 6 hours, and then
So when you do your chemistry test, do you know if they're going to need a vanishing act pillow?
Yeah.
So when you test the water, he's going to make a recommendation. Hey, you need. We give them one, right?
Well, a regular vanishing act pillow comes
Right.
with the kit.
Kit,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
We've only come across
couple.
it one time where they needed the XL.
Yeah.
Those pillows can be used multiple times?
They
Or
can-
is it a one-time use?
They're good for 4 6-hour cycles.
Okay, so if you were high and you just decided to use the standard pillow for 2 or 3 cycles, you'd get away with that too, right? Instead of the XL pillow?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, is you're only gonna get, you know, one use out of that pillow if it's super high. So that's why the XL pillow is nice, because you can use it multiple times.
The other one, you just use it once and then that's it.
If it's super high, yeah.
If it's just a little high, then you could use it multiple times then?
Yeah, because it usually only takes like 1, maybe 2 cycles to get it down
So
enough.
we want to bring an XL pillow with us at all jobs, just to, after we test water, to maybe sell it.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the standard that comes with the salt cell. They're gonna
with
get a
you, but we
standard.
wanna- Just saying, if
Mhm.
it's bad enough,
Yeah.
Switch it for you?
Yeah.
If it's bad enough, but like Nate said, we've only had a couple
okay, gotcha.
that's happened.
Only been
If
one.
somebody's fighting it, it's the next step. If like the vanishing act doesn't seem to be working, let's get you an XL. You know, and everybody's water's different. So take notes when you're balancing your water. Tell the customer, hey, you what is unique to you and what works for you might not work for the guy that has a tub across town because of his water composure. So make sure you're noting what seems to be working for you as you're using your tub for the first 6 months, so you can have your routine down as to the little extra things your tub seems to want and do. It's not a one size fits all. You're 80% there, but that last 20% is all based on, you know, if you're in a lake and you're coming in from lake water to your hot tub, you know, or pool water, you're changing bodies, or if you're putting well water, if you live by, you know, just what comes in from the air from trees, fertilizers, you know, the environment. Everybody gets a little bit different. So everybody's, what's going to work for you exactly is going to be dependent upon how you're using it, how often you're filling it, and the environment it's operating in.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks, Nate.
Thank you, Nate.
Go
Great.
over what breaker and what order to go through on 30/20 to turn them on?
We did not.
If you flip them at the same time, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. It's only when.
So he's talking about, you got your breaker box here, against the wall. There's a 30-20 breaker in there.
Yeah.
You want to flip them both on at the same time.
Yeah, because if you flip the breaker that kicks your heater on, then it's going to be running with no flow going through there. Then you'll get the error code that it's too hot.
So make sure you turn them on and turn them off. Don't do them individually.